You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
What do you say to your other nickname, the Merchant of Death?
That's not bad. They say the best weapon is one you never have to fire. I prefer the weapon you only need to fire once. That's how Dad did it. That's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far. To peace.
Is it cool if I take a picture with you?
Yes, it's very cool. I don't want to see this on your MySpace page. Please, no gang signs. No, throw it up, I'm kidding.
This is my review for Iron Man, released in 2008. Comic book movies are an interesting genre. Because of the hyperbolic nature of their characters, usually involved in comic books, it can sometimes come off as a bad movie when put on screen. I rarely think there is a middle ground for comic book movies. You either love them or you hate them. Either they're great or they're crap. I'm a huge fan of Tim Burton's Batman films, Batman Begins, Spider-Man 1 and 2, yet films such as Fantastic Four and Elektra aren't so good. Thankfully, Iron Man can rest in the first list of films, and very proudly. One of Iron Man's strengths is that, like Batman Begins, it doesn't rush. You see every process that brought Tony Stark to become Iron Man. I particularly like the opening sequence before the title appeared, then, directly after, taking you back to before that moment and working back to it. An interesting move, one I felt worked brilliantly. It was shot well, and there were some great moments even in the first few scenes that told you, though not as dark as say Batman Begins, it's not a fluffy film. Mainly, Stark pulling out the tube out of his nose was an example of this. It's pretty, hard-edged considering the rating. Robert Downey Jr. nails this role. He brings moments of comedy and is still able to pull off the more serious or action-themed moments in the film. I was impressed with his performance in Zodiac, which was the first time I'd seen him in anything, and again he delivers. Gwyneth Paltrow is a great addition to the film and gives a very solid performance. She and Robert Downey Jr. work well as an on-screen presence together in the film. This film is funny when it needs to be. The action scenes are fantastic, particularly the final action scene and the moment Paltrow's character discovers the other Iron Man. Jon Favreau, who previously directed Alf and wrote Swingers, does a fantastic job adapting to action, much like Matt Reeves did previous in the year with Cloverfield, both having not directed action previously in their careers. All in all, of course, there are some moments you have to suspend your disbelief. As I mentioned at the top of the review, it's a comic book movie with hyperbolic elements. However, it's in the top tier of comic book movies. An utterly fantastic lead performance, solid supporting cast, great action, great direction and soundtrack make Iron Man a cut above the rest. One of the best comic book movies and one of the best summer blockbusters I have seen in a long while.